I think that's a skill and you can train it. If you send 50 messages, I can give you a guarantee that one of them would definitely meet you. It's just a matter of number. How they made it, like to learn from them. And there's every person you meet in life you can learn from. When you have a fear to send the first message, I trust me, everyone has this fear.
Vera, welcome to my channel. Excited to talk to you, excited to hear your wisdom. So we're gonna talk about networking and how that's helpful, not only like in finding a job, but in your life overall. So if you want to share a little bit about yourself, what you do, why you are the person to talk about it.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's a delight for me because I truly enjoy Karyna in all ways. Uh, yeah, my background actually is in academic. I was a research for about 10 years in philosophy and art, history of art. But then I made my own company, Science Me, and I was doing a lot of events, like more than 300 from 10 people, like for private banking, up to 15,000. That was the event about space. That was kind of a festival. And now I'm living in San Francisco. I moved here 2.5 years ago. And I think that making connections were always natural to me and I always enjoyed it. And as Karyna knows, we always speak about that in English language. We use networking, but I don't like specifically this word. I think it's more about building great relationship, meaningful connections that broaden your life, broaden your mindset and your vision about yourself, about the world, about what you want. And even some new people bring you some new things, what you want in life. And that's why I realized actually when I moved that it's that I can help others with that because it's natural for me that I can share some maybe tips or anything, and I'm always happy to do that. So now I'm sometimes do kind of advisory work with that because I realize that it's so many people that it's hard to start conversation, to reach out to a person on different social media or by letter or even to go to event and start talking. I realize that it's majority, like I don't know, 95%. That's the hardest thing to do. And I think that's a skill and you can train it. So happy to be here.
I was just gonna add that, especially like for people coming from our background, like Eastern European background, where we were taught that like don't bother people, you know? So that's why it's especially hard to make this first move to like send this first message, go to the first call. And that's what we were doing with Vera. We had these sessions and it helped me like huge time to send this first message to like connect with people because before that, yeah, it was extremely hard.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that it's not only people think that I bother, but I also think why that person needs me. Like,
Because you
if
don't pay them, right? To do that.
yeah, like yeah, if I'm going to the event, how I would start the conversation, that person just maybe doesn't need me. He's not approaching me. I'm saying, no, that's not true. He just doesn't know about existence, but you have so many things, great things to share. And maybe that person can learn from you. Doesn't matter on what position that person is. I think it's always discovery for everyone. And people don't like message you first because they just don't know they're always busy and we're like nonstop busy now in this world. And I think this is some blocks that we have inside us that I think we just can get it through.
I agree. I agree. And I love that. So, yeah, let's start with why, I guess, would you say networking is so important in like our regular job search. Because when I came to the US, I had no idea that I need to network with people. My strategy was to just apply to different positions on LinkedIn, Glassdoor, all those websites. Why? I think it changed nowadays, and it's more about connection. It's more about not just like your resume, but whatever people see in you. And the best way to do it is to talk to these people or like explore on your social media, same LinkedIn with different types of content to share about your personality and stuff. So why did that change? Like, why is it different now?
It's a very good question, very deep question, because I was working with one startup that is in recruiting field, and that's what we talk nonstop all the time with recruiters, with hiring managers. It's just so noisy. Like people apply like 1,000 applications per day when there is a job opening, and it's so hard to get through. I mean, there are a lot of screenings, a lot of platforms, not a lot, but like main ones, right? But I think that uh, we're searching for a human, right? That would fit in our team that we're wishing for. And this is all about what I mentioned about in some way deep connection. Knowledge is important, but knowledge have a lot of people. And if you have 100 people that have like different background, but it all fits, then we choose like, okay, what human I like more. And then this type of thing where connection matters because I know that person. I can trust that person if I know. Or
Mm.
there's a person who made a referral and I trust that person made a referral. That's why a lot of hiring is going on inside the team. They make a job opening, but in fact, they just taking someone, hiring someone from the team who had a referral. So we just don't know what's is going on inside. And that's why I think, especially if you're new in the country or you want to move in the country, I think it's not a hobby. It should be a part of your work, like everyday work, to try to expand your network, your connections. And it's not only expanding, it's really that you build your new circle that you want to be in. So more people you reach out, more people you add on LinkedIn, actually your feed is changing and it's changing in the way that you want to change it. So I think it's always win-win for yourself, just for your future self, but it's also very beneficial in terms of your new job because you see like, oh, what is going on? What are the trends? What are they looking for? Some news that you can share, like repost, and that's also one of the tip I always saying like repost the things that you like or the people that you like or in the teams that you work for. Show that you are always following, trying to understand the market. You are in the market, so I think all of this, it seems like small things, but we know like all these small things all together, they all matter.
Yeah, I like that. So what would you say, like, where should we start? Even not even like when you move into a new country, I'd say that it's important to do even if you move into a new city, just because, different people, different companies. So what should I start with? Let's say, actually, that was my example, which you recommended me, because I think when we started working together, I had like less than 100 connections on LinkedIn, or maybe 100 something. Actually, I just hit 500 plus yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank
It's
you.
going fast. Like you know what I do? Sorry for interrupting that. I have a calendar. Um, and just every Monday I write down the number because then it's so fascinating to compare. Like I see in January, then
Yeah.
I see a year ago, and then you see that work that you've done. And I mean, it's like every day, right? You're just interested, you focus on that, and then it's so great to see that how much you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think that was your first recommendation to like how to start to actually go on LinkedIn and start posting, either like reposting things from your industry or whatever you like, or just like sharing kind of like when you blog on Instagram or anywhere else, um, blogging about your life. And because that's what connects you with other people. And then at the same time, connecting with people from the industry. I think that was like your main advice, what we started with. But maybe like in a more structured way, what should Karyna, like a year ago, that hasn't built any connections, should do in order to get a job in marketing, for example?
Yeah, I think so maybe first I would say maybe 20-30% of your efforts, because I don't advise that it's like 100%. It's just to go through your own LinkedIn page just to see that it's refreshed, that it's not that your job that you had it's like, I don't know, 10 years ago, like very lately. Just make at least one post. Because sometimes you see like they're like, it seems that it's a dead page when there is no posts, nothing is about. Make a picture that is like very sharp, because sometimes it's like blur, or it's like people are in the glasses, or it's so hard to understand who is in that person. Sometimes I see that. I mean, if you're a billionaire, you don't care about the picture, right? But we're now like that. We want that like people would see who is talking to them. Just maybe some nice background picture, write a short bio, like maybe not too long. I'm always saying that everything what you message or any post or like the bio, it should be just one page of your phone. So it's not like 4 times you are scrolling. So that I think that's also important. So maybe main things, what are your achievements, or maybe something personal too, because it's giving more personal touch. I mean, don't spend more than 3 hours on that. That's enough for the first time. Or if sometimes people have it, it's already a lot of information, but maybe you just refresh it, because sometimes it's pretty good, but it just old. So it's always good that just to keep it up to date.
And in order, I'll just add here real quick, in order to understand what needs to be written there, what you can do, you can just open any LinkedIn profile of a person that you like and see what kind of information they put there. And then using ChatGPT or your own writing or your own writing with ChatGPT, put something down similar to what you liked. And that could be an idea.
That's a very good tip, but I also recommend that to see, because sometimes people already are used to see a lot of ChatGPT text. So it's better
Oh, yeah.
you write your own, or you see, but make it personal. But like, don't do it too vague, or sometimes there are sentences for 5 lines, like very boring, like something doesn't mean anything. So I think just maybe try to make it's better shorter, but like more is less. So it's better that it really brings something valuable about you, or just skip it, because when it's too vague, it doesn't give a good impression. Then you just make at least one post. So usually it's better if the post should be like less than maybe 3 months ago, so not too old. And it can be different, like it can be a repost of the person that you like, or maybe any news, or maybe, I don't know, just we are now recording now a video. Yesterday was the opening of the Olympic Games. And I think Olympic Games, that's a huge history and thing in politics, in history, in economics, in everything. Just give your opinion why it's important. Because this is all like achievements of the people, relationship between countries. Just give you like, oh, I'm so excited, or like what you feel, or I'm going to buy 10 burgers and watch Olympic Games. I mean, anything like your ideas, but if it's some kind of very hot news, it's always good to share that you just like think about it. It just kind of example. I would say that's step number one.
I'm making a note for myself to actually post today about Olympics. Thank you.
Right. I think, yeah, you have some background, right? Secondly, I would say maybe that's the main part. So, for example, you're searching their position in marketing. Then, if you're moved, I don't know, for example, just because with examples is always easier. For example, you move to Nashville, Tennessee, and you want to find some people in like for folks in marketing. Then, so we have different filters in LinkedIn. I'm sure a lot of people know it, but I'm just maybe double checking with that. So we are making like cash location Nashville.
Yeah,
Then we,
actually, I can probably share my screen and
yes.
show you.
Yeah, I think it's always better to show, and I just can comment on that.
Yep.
Um, and what we're searching for, ideal, is to find some people who already have any team. So that can be in the future or right now, that person can be a hiring person. So that should be at least any senior position in marketing. So we're searching for senior marketing. We just say different because marketing is really different and it depends on what kind of specifically you want, but now we make it pretty general, right? So we're searching for people. And I just saying that one more time. So we're searching for the people that can be in the future, or maybe even now, the people who probably can hire other people. So that's our goal. Oh, there is even position actively hiring. So location. Um, okay. Show results. So I'm doing all the connections, and there are okay, a lot. 7,500 people. So we see senior marketing and communication leader and strategist, strategy and Nissan, senior marketing director at corporation Nashville, senior manager communication. It seems like Nissan is strong there. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
But I'm just working now more a lot with mobility field. Maybe LinkedIn very smart and that's why it's showing. Senior creative lead at Reddit. It means probably that Beverly, she has someone in her team, so she's not working like just on herself, right?
Mhm.
Um, Senior marketing manager, vehicle connected services, VP of product. She is, like you see, it's very good. I like the LinkedIn of that because it shows that current she is vice president of product marketing. That can be like in interdisciplinary, right? You're searching for marketing, but if you have, for example, background in product management, then you would be so great for her. So, for example, we go to Camille's LinkedIn. I hope, Camille, you're not watching us, but you have beautiful flowers. I love that. And she's smiling. I always love smiling people. Oh, a marigold. That's why maybe she has flowers.
What's
So,
Mary called?
oh, it's like very beautiful flower that I love a lot.
Oh,
Yeah. It's like fall, but in California they have it a lot in summer too.
nice.
So we see, right? She is there. Um, she was posted 11 months ago. So but she, as you see, oh, in April she became vice president. Before she was senior director. So it's probably a pretty big company. You can also double check the company. How we check the company, we just go to the company's page and we can see how many people. So 5,000 employees is actually pretty good. It's not too small, not too big. Because if it's from 10,000 employees, it means there would be like 10 circles that you need to go through. And then, so what we do, we have connect and there's add a note. And then what I would propose if I'm searching for a marketing role in Nashville where I'm moving, I don't know, today or in a month, or I already just moved, saying, Camille, I'm new in the city and I'm in a transition period right now. would you mind to have a coffee with me for 20 minutes? I would love to learn your career path, how you made it through, like becoming a vice president of a pretty big company. And it's interesting that you're product marketing. So we always have 300 symbols. I really recommend to sign for a premium one because in their like just their simple one, it's 200, but you have 200 reach outs that you can do. So just try. I would say don't ask for a job right away because that's what I mentioned. I think it's you want to understand what people are searching for in their team. How did she really made it through? Like that probably was a long way for her. And congratulations, she just in April became vice president. That's huge, right? So it's kind of you are building your circle. You don't ask him for a job. You don't ask anything, but you really want to learn a person more. And then you just share how you want to learn more. And that's different. And I would say when you lower your expectations, then good things come to your life.
Mhm.
So I would say if you send like it depends, their conversion rate is from 5% up to 50%. But just finding people in your city, I think it's a good way. But I know, Karyna, we plan to talk about other ways.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add really quick here that that's an amazing advice of not asking for a job right away because that increases your rejection and like not getting the message back. And at the same time, it's not like you tricking people or, trying to do, trying to get something out of them by like tricking them to meet with you. You just really genuinely want to connect, find out about their path, what they can recommend you, what feedback they can share. And then you are talking about yourself, like you're sharing your values, what you're looking for. And at the end of the day, when you are not asking like for a job, for money, for anything, whatever your goal is, while you're connecting with people, at the end of the day, they actually help you with it. They either like connect you with someone who they know would help you, or they actually say like, "Hey, we're actually looking for a marketing like I don't know manager to join the team. Would you be interested? Because it looks like you have great potential, experience, and values." So yeah, that's an amazing advice.
That's very, very important what you just mentioned because when you meet this person, and if you send 50 messages, I can give you a guarantee that one of them would definitely meet you. It's just a matter of number.
Mhm.
And when you meet that person, because so Camille, for sure, she knows like at least going to that position, she at least knows 50 people at least in marketing around the city. It means that she can say, oh, like, I don't know, like next 2 years, our goals, like we don't hire anyone when you would meet her, right? But then you can say, like, maybe you know other teams, or maybe you can just recommend me someone just to speak with. Or what I love the most, it just maybe you ask her mentorship. Camila, maybe you can give me like one, two, three, maybe meetings more. How I can get there? How can I get there where I want? I know you were at that place and it's pretty challenging place searching a job. You feel very uncomfortable, your self-esteem drops, you feel unconfident in every field like of your life because that's bothering you like every moment. You feel even sometimes I have met people that can't get on a vacation because they're telling me I don't deserve a vacation because I don't have a job. And it just I know how people are pushing themselves. Sometimes they even have depressions and everyone was there. I don't know anyone who was not ever searching a job. So she probably was there and maybe asking help, mentoring you in that process. Uh, I think that's also so you can just try different ways of that.
Now, after this video goes live and people from Nashville see that, Camille will be getting so many messages.
Hi, Nashville.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I love the advice. I agree. And Yeah, like I love talking to you, you know? I feel like you just getting so deep, like to the soul, and whatever you say, and sometimes even when we were like writing the first messages to people with you, you were like so genuine. For me, it's hard work to get to that level now, and I'm learning, but for you, it just, yeah, it comes naturally, and I just love, yeah, listening to you.
I think it just I think it just also it just some people noted. I was not thinking about this, but not more I think about it, more I agree. I think it's important with anyone you talk with, just focus on what they would be interested in, like what are how they made it, like to learn from them. And there's every person you meet in life you can learn from. And I think that probably, especially in the job searching, I think there are so many things that you can understand. And even it's not only you are finding a position, but that team. So it should be like a kind of professional match, but also magic match. It's where you would build up yourself, where you grow, where there is capacity to grow, where you have the same values, where the culture is great. That's why if they meet the person, like the hiring manager, it could be hiring manager, right? It could be not, but it could be in person. You see, maybe that's a toxic person. Toxic person usually, by the way, they don't meet on this kind of messages, which is good.
Yeah.
So they usually don't go out because they're not trying to help others.
Mhm.
So this is good. So probably the person is open to help, then it's in some part is showing that the team is probably is really good inside. And that's where you want to get, because I know so many places when you apply for a job, you had a good interview with a recruiter, even good interview with a hiring manager, and you get hired, but then you just hate this place. In 6 months, you want, oh my God, that's completely hell. Like I want again to search for a job. So it's a kind of, I think, just more building your future. It's kind of like small things, but that's these things would lead you to bigger things in your life. That's what I truly believe in.
I agree. Okay, and coming back to this first message when you send it, how do you get past this fear? What, because I can tell what helped me. Maybe you can share your experience, and maybe there is something like a practical tip that we can give to people. But for me, so before I started my startup, I changed the job where my previous job, I almost never had meetings, only like was my director of the marketing department, but I never like had this presentations or anything like that where I need to, lead the meeting. And when I switched the job, I went to I started working at a company. So it's a digital marketing company, and we have clients, and I have to like present reports to them. I have to lead meetings at least like I don't know 5 times a week, explaining different things. If they're unhappy, like trying to calm them down and speak that up with the team. So it was so uncomfortable, so scary. I spent sometimes like a couple hours before the meeting to like went through this presentation 15 times. I felt so stressed, but after 3 months doing that, it just went away.
Yes. Yes.
So, but then when we started fundraising journey, it came back because now you have to ask for something. And then I guess what helped sending that message together and like seeing that nothing is happening. Okay, you send a message, so what? No one's gonna bite you. And then going to one first networking event where I was also so scared, but then I came and everyone was so welcoming, and just like trying to get to know you, um, help you in any way possible. So these things help me. I don't know if it's an advice, like if there is any practical advice, but just go for it and see, because at the end of the day, nothing bad is going to happen. And if you don't try, you won't get there.
I think it's a very, very good advice, Karina. And what you mentioned, it's everyone faces that. When you have a fear to send the first message, I trust me, everyone has this fear. I have like a mood board on my table, and there's a phrase, ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better. And I think
Like,
that's maybe an advice because people don't care about anyone. Like it's about the same, like when people are have fear to post anything on social media, people just don't care. Like they don't think about anyone. We think that, oh, if I do something wrong, people would say like, oh no, you're such a bad person or you have fears, but no one would, they would just miss it. For all my life, and I was reaching out a lot in my life, no one ever blocked me or saying, why do you message me? And by the way, I hope we go to that turn. What I'm always is important. Up to 5, 6 follow-ups is extremely important because first message, imagine that if you messaged once, it's like you didn't do anything. Even if the person opened your message, it doesn't mean anything. Like you need to follow up to receive the answer because people always like on their way, they're like hurrying up something, I don't know, like they're on the road or they're like something is on their mind all the time. They can open it, but they always forget to answer or they don't want to answer or they didn't like focus just on it. So there can be different reasons. I have a story when I followed up HR director and she was not answering me, but she was reading the messages. But after 10th message, I was inviting her to different places. She actually answered. And she was, oh, my sweetheart, of course I would join your event. Like, and I was just like reading it and I'm saying, did you really use this word sweetheart? Like, am I wrong? I was so happy.
well,
I
that's the
didn't
message
mean it.
intended to me.
Yeah, like I was inviting her to the opening. I mean, I wanted a project with her. And that was a huge like bank, lot of budgets, and I knew like they were doing this kind of thing. So I knew that she could become my client. So I was like inviting her to event, just sending her some stuff, just asking like, oh, I truly believe in our conversation. I know you're not telling me no, so that's why I'm continuing. Like sometimes I was just feeling that I just messaging myself like to someone, in the space, but I'm always trying to make fun of it. I think sense of humor, that's why we keep alive. And like finally she answered and we met and like she paid for me in the restaurant and I was so shocked and she said, Vera, your consistency is blew me away. It's so charming and what you're doing is so great. I want to introduce you to other banks because I know a lot of other HR directors. Even I can't make a project right now with you. And she did like 3 introductions for me, huge introductions. And I kind of just pat my back because I thought this is great that I didn't, that I just continue on that thing. And it's always happening. And the people that I advise, I see that it's if that person doesn't answer fourth messages, and if the person doesn't say no, you can write fifth message, sixth message. And there are always things why you can reach out to that person.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that. And I remember that story.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite because I still can't believe it. It's like kind of, I don't know, if someone would tell me, I would not believe it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, this is like everything we shared, and I guess it's such a good advice. And we skipped a few questions, I guess, that I had, but we responded to them organically with this flow.
Good luck to everyone.
Good luck.